Hi, it's Gabrielle Lichterman, founder of Hormonology, creator of the popular hormone horoscope apps, and author of 28 Days, What Your Cycle Reveals About Your Moods, Health, and Potential. Now available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Thanks for joining me. This is my new YouTube tip channel that I'll be adding to weekly. I'd been meaning to do this for a while, but I was a little busy writing this book. So now I am finally coming with my trusty dog, Chili, to YouTube to do tips. I was doing it on Facebook for a while, but Facebook video isn't great, and time to move to YouTube. So we'll see how this works out. So we're going to do Sundays, Sunday afternoons. It's actually afternoon in my time. I'm in Florida, St. Petersburg on the Gulf Coast. It is beautiful here. And so we'll try to hammer this out. This might change, set might change, lighting might change, time might change, but we'll get it all set. What I really want to do is share great hormonology tips with you. If you're new to hormonology, hormonology teaches you how hormones in your menstrual cycle impact your moods, health, and behavior, and how you can take advantage of the benefits that come with these hormonal effects and overcome the challenges. So there's a lot of ways you can take advantage of your hormonal effects, and one of them is making your next week of your cycle better. And that's the tip that I want to share today. I was inspired to share this tip because I have kind of like two Gabs, morning Gab and nighttime Gab. And nighttime Gab sometimes remembers to brew a cup of tea and then put it in the refrigerator for morning Gab, so that when morning groggy, sleepy Gab wakes up, she doesn't have to wait to brew tea to get started. She opens the fridge and there it is. And I was reminded of this because I usually forget that nighttime Gab has set me up. So I will open the fridge in the morning and see this cup of tea and think, yes, thank you, nighttime Gab, as if I'm a completely different person. I know it sounds a little weird, but I just forget. And I'm just so happy, just that burst of happiness, of gratitude for something I did for myself that I just completely forgotten. It's a small thing, but it starts my day off so much better. And with gratitude toward myself, I'm thankful for something I did. So I know that I also do this in my cycle, and you can do this too. And applying this to your cycle can make every week of your cycle happier. And it's so easy, and you only have to do just a little. It just takes a little effort, and it makes every week of your cycle better. So today I want to explain how to do that. So there's, for newbies, there's 4 phases of your cycle that I talk about for hormonology, for hormonology's sake. So there's week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. Week 1 starts with your period and lasts 7 days. Week 2 is the week leading up to and including ovulation. Week 3 spans the 8 days following ovulation. And then week 4 is your premenstrual phase, which is 6 days. So I want to talk to you about how you can set up each week to be happier by just taking a couple of easy steps in the preceding week. So let me explain, because this is kind of getting a little confusing because I just keep saying week over and over, right? Okay, so say you're in your week 1. And again, your week 1 is your period week. In your period week, you could, be a little blue or cranky or low energy at first. And that's because of low estrogen and period-related aches and pains. Some people don't have that problem. Some people come, barreling out of the gate in their week 1, full of energy, but many people have lower energy and a lower mood. But that's not going to stay that way, because by the time week 2 rolls around, and week 2 comes right after week 1, and it's the week leading up to and including ovulation, your energy is going to be higher. You're going to be more social, creative, curious. You want to explore. You want to experiment. You are adventurous. You are You've got lots of daring do. You're really confident. So while you're in your week 1, you may not feel like RSVPing to social events or trying something new. But think about your week 2. Think about how you'll be in your week 2. You'll be much more social, much more adventurous. So something you can do for the week 2 future you is to set up some cool social events, RSVP to parties, go look for an art opening, go look for something exciting to do and sign up for it, a class, zip lining, whatever it is. And have that scheduled for your week 2, because once you reach your week 2, you're going to be so happy that week 1 you set yourself up for more excitement and more socializing and more experimenting. Okay, so say you're in your week 2, that high energy. You think it's never going to go away. All that high energy and talkativeness and sociability, that's from high and rising estrogens, from spiking estrogen. You think when you're in that week, oh, I'm always going to be like this, but that's not the case. In your week 3, which comes right after your week 2, and week 3 spans the day after ovulation and spans 8 days, the 8 days following ovulation, things really mellow down. Boy, do you get, it's like the B-side or the opposite of your week 2. You're quieter, you're cautious, you like traditional things that you're familiar with, and you don't like the crowds as much. You're really more introverted. So while you're in your week 2 and you're enjoying all this excitement, think about what you can do for your week 3 you, who will be quieter and more sedate. Something special. For instance, you can pick out a book or a documentary or some other mellow activity for week 3 you to enjoy. Maybe you can look at nature walks, see what's around you that you've never tried before that would be calming and soothing for your week 3. You might not enjoy it in your week 2 because it's, that's when your energy is so high. But knowing that your energy is going to be lower and you're going to be quieter and enjoying subtler pleasures in your week 3, you could set up your future you with that kind of subtler pleasure. So once you reach your week 3, you've got this nature walk to look forward to, or you've got this book to look forward to, you can thank week 2 you for picking it out and setting you up. Okay, so now you're in your week 3, you're mellow, and this mellowness actually comes from lower estrogen and elevated progesterone. Now, this is a nice sedate time for most of us, but following your week 3 is your premenstrual week 4, and that's a time when things can get a little bit you can get more emotionally sensitive and physically sensitive, and that's due to plunging estrogen. Progesterone also plunges during that phase. So while you're in your mellow week 3, think about what you can do to make the premenstrual week 4 you happier and more comfortable. I like to personally think of a treat, an indulgent treat, something that I usually don't get because it's highly, highly indulgent, maybe really super high in fat and sugar, or because it's very expensive or it's difficult to get because, I have to go far away to get it. I like to indulge my week 4 gab in something that's just a once in a while special treat. Another thing you can do is schedule something that's pampering for your week 4 you, because you'll enjoy it more. So once you reach your week 4, your premenstrual phase, and your week 3 you has set you up with something pampering or indulgent, it will make your week 4 happier. You see how easy it is just to think ahead 1 week, surprise the future you with something that matches the personality of that cycle week, and you'll just be so much happier. Now, if you're new to hormonology and you're not familiar with how each week of your cycle you change, week 1 you start off slow, week 2 you really, your engines are revved, week 3 you get mellow, and then week 4 you tend to get a little bit more emotionally or physically sensitive. Then if you need more information about that, please visit my website, myhormonology.com. I have so many tools on that website that help you understand how your hormones impact you every day of your cycle. I also have the popular Hormone Horoscope Menstrual Cycle Tracker apps, which a lot of people really love. That gives you a great daily overview of how your hormones impact you every day of your cycle. And of course, I have 28 days. What your cycle reveals about your moods, health, and potential. I love this tool. This is my favorite hormonology tool because it's just so comprehensive. It's really the manual to your hormones. It's really everything that's on my website, that's in my apps. It encompasses everything, and it's just everything in one spot, everything in one place. You just open it up, and you can open it up to any day in your cycle because it's separated by days. So you go, if you're in day 14, day 15, you go to that day, and it tells you. You go straight to the category. It tells you how your hormones are going to be impacting your mood, your energy, how you're spending money, and your body and health and so forth. So I love that, and that's available at Amazon.com. So again, one little trick you can do is just plan ahead to treat your future you in the next week to something special that matches that week's personality, and you'll be so much happier. I've used this tip for a long time, and it's always worked for me. So I hope it works for you. Until next week.